expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this show do not necessarily reflect those of the staff or management of Radio Hotties. The content broadcast on this show is meant for informational and entertainment purposes only.
जब हमारे परिवार के बुजुर्गों की सेहत और देखभाल की बात होती है तो घर पर इन होम केयर वाला ऑप्शन सबसे बढ़िया है। ऑनलॉक का पेस प्रोग्राम एक ऐसा कन्वीनियंट एंड पर्सनलाइज्ड ऑप्शन है जिसके जरिए हमारे बुजुर्ग घर पर हमारे साथ रहकर यही देखभाल और सेवा का लाभ उठा सकते हैं। अब चाहे वो घर पर रहे या ऑनलॉक वाले पेस सेंटर में आए, उनको वही डेडिकेटेड एंड प्रोफेशनल केयर मिलेगी। ऑनलॉक ने बुजुर्गों की सेहत को अपना प्रायोरिटी बना लिया है। और जानने के लिए 1855-308-0195 पे कॉल करें। That's 1855-308-0195. After months of screen time and no play dates, the Children's Discovery Museum is open for Purple Play Days of Summer. It's time to rediscover the wonder. Climb on the fire engine, splash around in the waterworks, blow bubbles, and scale the tree climber in Bill's backyard. Oodles of hands-on arts and culture, STEM, health, and nature-themed exhibits await your family. The Giant Purple Museum is open every day, Wednesday through Sunday. Reservations are required at cdm.org. That's cdm.org.
Top of the morning, Bay, with Good Morning Bay.
Get to know about the traffic on your way and what's news around the world today.
Some wisdom skills along the way.
Oh, and a song to hum along with and sway.
Get your perfect entertaining start to the day.
At 9 a.m. every weekday morning with
Mahima's
Good Morning Bay.
Good morning, Bay. आप सभी लोग मतलब से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते,
नमस्कार,
वणक्कम,
नमस्कार,
खुशामदी,
अस्सलाम वालेकुम,
सत श्री अकाल,
एकांतरिकी वंदनम,
जय स्वामी नारायण,
जय श्री कृष्ण,
जय जिनेंद्र।
हमारे इस्माइली भाई बंधुओं को बोलते या अली मदद,
मौला अली मदद बोलते हुए सारे फीजी बंदों को बोलेंगे नीसा बोला बड़जान। हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारा। मैं से फालतू बाबा
and of course myself फालतू रानी लेकर आपके लिए एक और drive time that's going to make it totally exciting and totally मस्तानी बंद जाने।
That's right, बंजान। अभी के लिए आप लोगों को हम लोग देंगे रास्ते का हाल टोटल सस्ते में।
It's time for the Bandu Traffic Update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
And of course, Banjan, as I told you, wherever you are, no matter which part of the world you are located in right now, if you're facing some kind of traffic or some congestion happening on the roads where you are, give us a call to ask us what's happening, and we will be glad to take a satellite view of the place. Thanks to Google. I'll tell you what's happening with Banjan. So we can be your ice on the road. Not ICEEYES.
Or should we say the ears to the ground?
That's like, what if the ground is slushy and messy and stuff like that?
Oh God,
What if dog is pooped there?
It is a figure of speech.
Figuratively speaking,
you always got to keep your ear to the ground.
I'm a visual thinker, right? I can think, when you say, I literally see you putting ears to the ground over there on the thing. What if a car's got us a dog pucky, come like in front of you, actually, it gets messed up with the ears and all. The whole day you hear what? Falsadi is like totally
Good morning,
lost for
Manajan,
words.
and I apologize on behalf of this.
I was supposed to give a
roads.
traffic update. Can you please allow me to give a traffic update right now?
Yes, go ahead.
And of course, Banjan, the roads in the Bay Area, especially because what we're focusing on right now, Banjan, Bay Area, I mean, there's a disabled vehicle on 85 southbound, north of Stevens Creek Boulevard. In Cooper, it's just slowing traffic, kind of, but not. CHP is on the scene right now, so we'll be clearing up anyways, Banjan. 101, 880, everything looks kind of smooth right now. It's like, it doesn't seem to be like as though it's a pre-COVID situation, but definitely it seems like as though it is one of those days when people are relaxing and not going out, right? That kind of stuff. And also, there's a report of an hazard 880 near Tasha Island Road out there, but is it stopping traffic? No, but very close to that particular incident on the 80 itself, Banujan, there's actually traffic hazard westbound 80. It actually is near the Oakland area, the Grand Avenue, right? That side. I see a backlog of traffic over there, huge backup of traffic. Watch out, drive very carefully. I would suggest alternate route, but you can't take alternate. Unfortunately, if you're on 80, that's the only connecting for you, right? Otherwise, you got to go all the way to Richmond and then got to come down all the way from there. No. I think probably just take a deep breath, listen to our show. We got some nice stuff for you guys. Get updated on what's happening in the news. So here, Banujan, locally and also internationally for the matter, we'll be sharing the news with you guys for sure. And also, beach में आपके लिए गाने देते जाएंगे Banujan, आपको enjoy करने के लिए, आपका enjoyment के लिए actually. And a lot of things happening right now with the Radio Hotties, Banujan. We actually have a bunch of things which have been planned out for your entertainment, so and engagement for sure. So definitely stay tuned. And that was your traffic update. A quick look at what's happening on the Faltrani news part of it. Are we ready with the news for our bandus?
Oh yeah, absolutely, Alta Baba. Do you want me to go into the news in detail right away?
Sure, Faltrani. Here you go, Bajal. The news desk of Media Mahima. This is the news for today, or news headlines for today.
Let us tell you, Banujan, Delta Plus variants are being detected in the South Bay as the number of people in the Bay Area diagnosed with the Delta variant of the COVID-19 increases. There is a new threat, the Delta Plus variant. Cases have already been confirmed in the South Bay. The Santa Clara County Public Health Department is now sequencing every COVID-19 case from every hospital in the county, meaning it's tracking down which variant of COVID-19 each case is so far, and officials have detected 16 cases of mutated Delta variants known as the Delta Plus variant. I think it's a safe bet to assume that it is also more contagious, just like the Delta variant is. Dr. George Hahn with the County Health Department said, it's not yet known that the current vaccines offer protection against the Delta Plus variants. Hahn has said right now that most people hospitalized with COVID-19 in the county have been unvaccinated. The Delta variant has increased rapidly in Santa Clara County and in the Bay Area. Delta is now the predominant variant in California and in the country. The same is true in Santa Clara County as well. He says there have been breakthrough cases, but he stressed that getting vaccinated will offer you the best protection against extreme illness, even if people get the Delta or the Delta Plus variant. So they're saying basically that you are not immune to this particular virus, Manjan, even being fully vaccinated. So the importance on the masking guidelines is definitely to be followed. Yesterday we brought you news about Senator from California, Barbara Boxer, who was assaulted in Oakland. So there is some reaction that's coming out from her office, and of course former California Senator Barbara Boxer on Tuesday spoke out after being mugged in broad daylight in Oakland. Someone pushed Boxer and then yanked her cell phone out of her hand Monday afternoon as she was walking in the Jack London Square area. She said she was not physically harmed but was completely shaken up. You can't just come up to a little old lady and smash her down to the ground, she said. That's just not right. There's a lot of work to be done here. I've spoken to the mayor. I've spoken to the Congresswoman Lee. I feel very optimistic that change is coming. Boxer said the male who attacked her looked young enough to be a teenager. She said she supports more community policing in Oakland. The 80-year-old had served in the Senate for 24 years. East Bay District welcomes back students on the first day of their 21-22 school year. It's the first day of school for thousands of students in the East Bay, as the majority of Brentwood Union School District students are headed back to school in person. Nearly all of the district's 9,000 elementary and middle school students return to campus starting Wednesday. The district received a share of more than $5 billion in learning loss mitigation funding from the state. We spent our one-time money on extra counselors, intervention specialists, summer school jumpstart program, and then intervention coordinators to make sure that they're meeting the need of every kid, District Superintendent Dana Eaton said. The state has required all school children to wear masks while indoor, though masks outdoors will be optional, and staff can go maskless if no students are present. Physical distancing will be required only while eating, but not in classrooms, is what they're saying. In other news, Abanajan, yesterday, for those of you who are in the San Jose Milpitas area and also in the South Bay, you would have seen this huge plume of smoke that was emanating, right? Well, firefighters yesterday battled a brush fire that consumed nearly 25 acres on the border of North San Jose and Milpitas. The San Jose Fire Department said the blaze was burning near the 500 block of Mill River Lane. The residents in the area were advised to shelter in place, but no evacuation orders were immediately issued. Our crews have been taxed. All of our units are out. We are out of personnel. We know we are going to be out here all night, said Galahad Zamora of the Milpitas Fire Department. The 4-alarm blaze started around 4 p.m. in the evening. The local agency got help from 132 people from CAL FIRE and neighboring San Jose. Sources that stretched from Milpitas to San Jose, fire trucks lined the Coyote Creek bed, making sure that the flames didn't make it to a nearby housing community. And in news from across the United States, Banajan, let us tell you that congressional Republicans are lashing out against new COVID-19 mask guidance. Republicans in Congress are saying that the health officials' recommendations that even fully vaccinated people resume wearing masks in many places, including the capital, as the highly contagious Delta variant COVID-19 spreads through the nation, is balderdash. And they just want to keep keeping on. They want to keep on keeping on, giving a pushback to even CDC guidance. This is what they did even last time. You remember, Altababa?
Yep, they did.
Yes, U.S. Homeland Security Department imposes employee mask mandate now. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security has said on Wednesday that all of its employees, regardless of vaccination status, will need to wear a mask indoors and also physically distance. And there is a Reuters analysis that is coming out, Banijan, which is about U.S. Supreme Court shadow docket favored and how that actually favored religion and Donald Trump. As midnight approached on the eve of the U.S. Thanksgiving holiday, the conservative majority Supreme Court granted emergency requests by Christian and Jewish groups challenging COVID-19 crowd restrictions imposed by New York State, apparently. And they allowed that to be heard, and they allowed for them to congregate. So that is a new story. If you want to catch up on that, we will post it on MediaMahima.com. And of course, Mitch McConnell, our Senate Minority Leader, is blaming misinformation for the low rates of COVID-19 vaccination amongst Americans, which are fueling a rise in coronavirus cases, particularly in Republican-dominated states, while he's still pushing back against the masking guidance. And I don't know how good this news is, but they're saying that Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is going to be leaving politics and is going to be launching his own investment firm.
Oh, that's because his wife is going to be running for the presidency, right? Next 2024.
Oh.
Yay, 2024, female president of America.
I don't know.
Would you vote for her? I'm going to ask the question. No. There you go.
No. A top advisor to former President Donald Trump plans to launch an investment firm in coming months, a move that will take him away from politics for the foreseeable future, sources familiar with the plan have said on Wednesday. And in news from the Olympics, Pandajan, Simone Biles, as we all know, withdrew from the individual all-round competition at the Tokyo Olympics on Wednesday as well, a day after she shocked the world by pulling out of the team event. She even didn't participate in the individual event, and she actually went on to say that mental health is more important and she needs to focus on herself as opposed to this as opposed to just her sport. And you know what's the really sad thing that I read, Alto Baba?
Go on, tell me.
I read a tweet by Pierce Brosnan. Not Pierce Brosnan. Oh my God, Pierce Morgan, that guy who's that really annoying guy who was on that
The British guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says, right now, so then we're going to blame mental health issues for our failings as performers.
No,
or athletes.
he did not go there.
Yes, he did say that. And he said, you know what he also said?
Tell me.
He said our children need stronger role models. Stop whining.
You know, that's why I think, and I was reading a very interesting thing. There's actually a book come out about Olympics as it is, right? So, did you know Olympics actually came up somewhere in 1930s when they actually came up with this commercial thing, right?
Wow.
And you know how expensive it is, the cost of running Olympics in a country. It is so expensive. I believe you can't do an Olympics without having at least 10 or 12 billion dollars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so basically it's like money just flowing out, right?
Wow.
And who's paying for it? I don't know.
Taxpayers?
And the best.
No, people.
People.
The different countries who participate.
Different countries would pay because they would host it, right? So,
Right.
and for instance, look at this fiasco in Japan already, right? And it seems like as it's like elite kind of a thing.
Right.
And what I didn't like about the Olympics, in fact, they're right. Why should we have Olympics when you have Asian Games, you have this game, that game, and everything,
Correct,
right?
correct.
They didn't go prove their worth in those things,
Right.
right? And it is a huge, close to 2,000 people have gone from thing, right? So from America itself, right?
Right,
So it's
right.
like, with the whole team, what a colossal expense. I don't want to say waste, but definitely an expense. And I think I kudos to the particular gymnast who came out and said she had to have focus on the mental health.
Yeah.
Because physically, they're very short life, by the way.
Oh, wow.
People who go Olympics and all, right? They push themselves so much. Physically, they actually are later on suffering with other things. And people like Piers Morgan, what's his name? Piers
Morgan.
Piers Morgan, they're the ones sitting over there and just commenting and getting money out of the whole thing, right? So they'll never know the pain of actually how it is to actually become a competitive
No,
athlete.
I was going to say grow a heart, dude.
Yeah, no, they're not gonna be.
Yeah.
And I really don't like the guy because Simone Biles, I don't know, it's fine. She has proved herself, dude. She doesn't have to go and do
Yeah.
anything else on it.
True
Right?
that.
Yeah, it's a sad thing, but you would see how hard she would have worked for it.
Huh.
And for her to come out and say, I think it takes guts, I would applaud her actually.
Oh, wow.
That's me. I would applaud.
Well, yeah, I would definitely do that too because of the fact that it is a serious condition, Manajan. You
Yeah.
can't discount it. Just like your physical health, something just because it doesn't meet our eye doesn't mean that it's not a serious health condition. Anyway, so we are going to go into a quick Gane Ka Kida before we come back to you with the world news, Manajan, and news from India, and also updates on what's going on with the India versus Sri Lanka cricket match as well. We'll bring you all that shortly. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Good Morning Bay right here on Radio Day Hotties. You can catch us every single day from 9 to 10 and also from 5 to 7 right here on facebook.com/Radio Day Hotties or on our Radio Day Hotties apps on iOS and Android. Download the app, and if you're working, you can always have this playing in the background on radiodehotties.com. Or have your Alexa or Siri play it for you. Beautiful music all day long. Here is a beautiful song, Manajan, called Khol De Par from the movie
Hitchki, and singer, of course, Arjit Singh Manajan. Music director is Jasleen Royal, and lyrics by Raj Shekhar. And of course, Banjan, a song which inspires you to just go ahead and do what you want to do, Banjan. And I tell you, I love this movie. You know why? It's very close to my heart. Teaching is very close to my heart. I think it's the most noble profession ever when you actually transfer knowledge to people, the kids or anybody for the matter. And this, they actually talk about differentiated learning or teaching, for children. Yeah, but the chaska lag gaya na, acha gana hai. But of course, if you want to listen to the song, it actually is a YR production. That's the Yash Raj Films Patajan, their production film. They kind of actually is available on one of those OTT releases. Actually, it's available on I think Prime, if I'm mistaken. Go check it out for sure. It's called Hitchki, movie which I would urge everybody to watch. Parents, teachers, children, adults, anybody and everybody who can understand Hindi or don't understand Hindi, also they have subtitles. You can watch it for sure because the messaging is so nice in terms of how we sometimes underestimate neurodiversity. And how we view, how our general view of neurodiversity is like somebody who have a disability,
Right.
And it's not that at all. And actually, I think Rani Mukherjee has done an excellent job
Yeah.
portraying the role of the character. And supposedly this story, Faltoni, I don't know if you know this, you must know this for sure because we've done a show about this also. It is based on a real life incident, right? Real life individual.
True.
It's not a biopic, Banja. It's like it's based on the story of this particular individual who actually was suffering from Tourette syndrome
Wow.
and educated children and did this differentiated teaching for them where she kind of took the curriculum, broke it down to the way they understand it.
It's based on, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And
Isn't that wonderful?
it's absolutely and the way she taught them also, Banjan, is it reminds me of one particular school that it's called the Waldorf method or something, where they actually let children learn through nature and experience.
Yeah.
For up until 9 years of age, wo actually bachon ko they let them explore what their interests are in different areas.
But the
So-
movie was wonderful, Banjan. Siddharth P. Malhotra's movie, and it's not the actor, Banjan. This guy's a producer. We'll come back to the song for sure. Lekin abhi ke liye Faltwani is ready with the news in detail for you guys. So Faltwani, if you're ready, we can take it away. What do you think?
Absolutely, Alto Baba. So we are going to go back and talk about some of the world news, Pandujan, where there is breaking news with regard to what's going on in Afghanistan. The United States seems to be deeply troubled by attacks on civilians as the Taliban sweep across Afghanistan. Anthony Blinken says reports of civilian deaths has been deeply troubling, and Afghans in government-held areas worry about reports of killings. The Taliban say that they will treat the civilians well if they return, and China is actually hosting the Taliban delegation right now, and Russia is saying that it's beefing up capability at its Tajikistan base. Taliban insurgents have captured districts across Afghanistan and seized vital border control points in recent weeks as Washington withdraws its last troops after 20 years. The Pentagon now estimates that fighters control more than half of the Afghanistan's district centers. The surge has raised the prospect that the militants could return to power. Millions of people have fled their extreme violence during their last period of rule from 1996 to 2001, when they staged public executions of their foes, banned women from working and education, and hosted Osama bin Laden's Al-Qaeda network.
Well, what's scary is Faltwani, when they actually opened up the borders, Pakistan opened up the borders, right? You know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah, what's going to happen?
They're going to kick up the Kashmir row again.
Yes, and that is part of the reason possibly why Anthony Blinken is trying to secure a pact with India right now, to see how, well, unfortunately, if you can look at ABCT, which is the Altubaba conspiracy theories, there is India is not in a safe place actually at this point.
It never has been, unfortunately.
Yeah, we've been surrounded by enemies on all sides, apparently. But anyway, that is another story for another day. But here, United States congressmen are now reaching back into Cold War armory to respond to China. Democratic and Republican congressmen on Wednesday introduced a bill that aims to revive an arm of the U.S. Cold War arsenal to improve understanding of China and potentially other strategic rivals of the United States. The House bill, introduced by Democratic representatives Joaquin Castro and Bill Keating and Republicans Mike Gallagher and Brian Fitzpatrick, would provide for the establishment of a federally funded Open Translation and Analysis Center, which is called OTAC, focused specifically on China. It will be based on the Foreign Broadcast Information Service, that is the FBIS, which provided translation and analysis of the Soviet bloc and other foreign government media during the Cold War. The bill calls for funding of $80 million for fiscal 2022 year, and that the same amount annually for each fiscal year through 2026, as well as such sums as may be required for each fiscal year thereafter. Oh my God! Looks like the way China is inviting Taliban, North Korea, and Russia is also bolstering its military presence. China is bolstering its military presence. Kind of makes you feel like we're setting up for another world war, right?
Interesting, Fatvani. I see that actually my thought process is infiltrating your mind right now.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, it's inception, Fatvani.
Yeah.
I've sown the seeds. Now we just got to water it.
Yeah, and thank you so much, Ravi, for those kind words on Facebook. Yes, we are Good Morning Bay, and yes, we're right here. We're not gone anywhere. We're right here on Radio Day Hotties on Facebook.com/Radio Day Hotties. You can also follow us. Download the Radio Day Hotties apps on iOS and Android. Yes, you're right. TuneIn Radio also carries Radio Day Hotties, and you can actually listen to us on TuneIn. Apparently, on Alexa, you can ask Alexa to start TuneIn and choose Radio Day Hotties as your favorite channel.
There you go. Please do it. You can do it right away. You can just go or just keep the speaker right now towards Alexa, and we'll go, Alexa, choose Radio D Hotties as favorite channel on TuneIn.
You can actually go to Alexa and you can actually go to TuneIn, download the app if you don't have it. Regardless, you can just download the Radio D Hotties app and have that played as well, Banujan. It plays anywhere, and if you have a Tesla, all the more power to you. But thank you, Ravi, for that suggestion that you can actually put Radio D Hotties as your favorite on TuneIn, and you can listen to us anywhere in the world as well. Russian state prosecutors asked a court on Wednesday to find Lyubov Sobol.
Say it again.
Lyubov
Sobol.
A close ally of Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny, guilty of breaching COVID-19 safety regulations and to impose a set of restrictions on her for 2 years, her lawyers said. Prosecutors told the court to order Sobol to remain at home from 2200 to 600 for the next 2 years. What does that mean? From 11 p.m. maybe to 6 a.m. for the next 2 years, to ban her from attending mass events or political meetings, and to have her check in with the police 4 times a month, her lawyer Vladimir Voronin said on Twitter. Sobol, who says the charge against her is politically motivated nonsense, was charged with breaching COVID-19 safety regulations at an unsanctioned street protest in support of Navalny earlier this year. Isolated Myanmar is calling for international help, and all of a sudden they just dropped off with all the the military junta taking over and so much violence in the streets. Suddenly, if you notice, even we hadn't been covering it on Good Morning Bay. Myanmar's military ruler is looking for greater cooperation with the international community to contain the coronavirus. State media reported on Wednesday as the Southeast Asian country struggles with a surging wave of coronavirus infection. Senior General Min Aung Hlaing said in a speech for more cooperation on prevention, control and treatment of COVID-19, including with fellow members of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations and friendly countries, the Global New Light of Myanmar reported. Myanmar has been in chaos since the military ousted the elected government led by Aung San Suu Kyi on February 1st, with regular protests and fighting between the army and newly formed militias. And in news from India, the India versus Sri Lanka second T20I live score, Bandajan. Sri Lanka lose Avishka Fernando early in the chase of 133. Invited to bat, a depleted India scored just 132 for 5 on a sluggish pitch against Sri Lanka in the second T20 international in Colombo. Skipper Shikhar Dhawan top scored for the visitors with his 40-run knock, while Sri Lankan off-spinner Akila Dhananjaya, who got 2 for 29, took 2 of the 5 wickets that fell. And of course, if you want to get more information about this, you will need to tune in tomorrow. But by then, the match will be over.
Yeah, but don't worry, we'll give you the highlights.
Yes, exactly. But let's tell you, in Mumbai, Banujan, another building has collapsed in Andheri. In another shocking case of a building collapse, an under construction structure collapsed in Andheri's Mehta Baba Chawl. The ground plus three-storied building fell on an adjoining structure on Tuesday night. 6 people, including a fireman, were injured. Police and firefighters immediately rushed to the spot on receiving the information and pulled people out who were present in the house at the time of the building collapse. And good news for students, Bandhujan, because the United States has reached a settlement in a class action lawsuit relating to OPT delays, assuring a timely adjudication. The United States Immigration Services has reached a settlement. The group of 18 plaintiffs in the class action lawsuit challenging the delays in OPT adjudications. The terms of the settlement will also benefit the putative class, similarly placed individuals, and offer relief to international students who bore the brunt of these delays. And in final updates on the Shilpa Shetty Raj Kundra pornography scandal, the SEBI has imposed a penalty of 3 lakh rupees on the actor Shilpa Shetty and Raj Kundra for violation of its insider trading rules. To get more information on all of this, you can go to mediamahima.com, or if you want to catch up on this Tehelka, you can also tune in to our shows in the Pam Pam show in the evening. And that's all we have time for you on this morning's Good Morning Bay. We'll be back tonight live at 5 on the Pam Pam show. Don't forget to tune in right here, facebook.com/Radio Dihodies, or on the Radio Dihodies apps on iOS and Android. Have yourselves a beautiful, wonderful Wednesday. Tell you, Bandhujani, that all these beautiful tracks that you're listening to right now are special Dihari picks that we've hand-picked just for you. We'll see you in just a few. Keep listening.
Hey guys,